Talk to us about some guys that piqued your interest that you maybe didn't necessarily see coming into it, but performed extremely well, and I think probably made themselves some money last night.
Yeah, I mean, I think Desmond Ritter, just the way he ran, like a 4.49. I mean, he's moving, and that's going to kind of pique your attention if you're a scout, just knowing, oh, he's got some speed to him as well, because he's had a great college career. You know, what he did at Cincinnati, where he brought that football team, he has a lot of reps under his belt. So that's something to keep an eye on. I think he has to be better, as I watch his tape, is being more consistent, being more accurate. That's what I'd like to see from him. But I think that 40 is going to kind of pique some teams' attention. You know, and then guys down the list a little bit. You know, Dustin Crum, you know, a guy from Kent State, had a phenomenal career there. You know, he's a smart guy. He's going to execute the offense. I thought last night he was just one of those guys that stepped in, and when it was his turn to throw, he was accurate, he completed the ball, and he had good timing and rhythm, and he got back to the back of the line. Like, he's a guy, didn't say much, did his job, and that was it. And it was spot on. It was like the rhythm and timing you want to see from a quarterback. It was a go ball over the shoulder that was perfect. Twice, right in a row, he did it, which I thought was pretty cool. You know, Brock Purdy. I thought Brock Purdy. I was a fan of his at Iowa State because he's tough. He plays the game fun. It's fun to watch, but he'd make some like boneheaded decisions, and I thought that hurt him later on, you know, in his career at Iowa State, and it hurt that football team. But I thought last night he actually did put a good performance on. I mean, he's not the biggest guy, but he had good timing and rhythm. He was accurate with the football. He's a guy in later rounds. Hey, he's a football player. If your team needs to put a backup in, he could probably get the job done, and he has to be smarter making decisions. But other than that, I thought he did pretty well. You know, Sam Howe, you know, we watched him. I thought, you know, one side to the other, he threw better. I think it was going to his left, and then when he went to his right, he was just off. But he's a guy that, you know, had a great college career, shows he has a good arm, shows he's athletic. But I wanted to see more out of Sam Howell last night because at PFF, he's our number one quarterback. And I'm not sure if, you know, I'm on board with that, but I thought last night I wanted to see more from him.
We're speaking with Bruce Gradkowski, Pro Football Focus analyst, as well as SiriusXM Radio, Channel 88 as well. You listen to me. I really like Carson Strong. I liked what he was in college, but now he's had two opportunities: the Senior Bowl and now the Combine. At least the throwing aspect of it, and he's looked a little shaken. Right? He hasn't looked the part. And I've watched him on tape and in big games and games against better quality opponents like Kansas State, and he has looked like the real deal. So. What's your biggest takeaway from him? Because he's easily the most physically talented player at the quarterback position in this year's NFL draft.
Oh, for sure. And you talk about the amount of reps and throws that he has in his college career has been impressive. You know, you talk about a guy, you know, 5 big-time throws and 0 turnover where he plays for us at PFF versus Colorado State in his final career game. I mean, you know, that's him. That's what he's capable of doing. But, you know, and that's what I loved about you last night. Like you were talking highly of Carson Strong coming in, and then you know, at one point you were like, you know what, this is the second time in a row on a big stage with the Senior Bowl and now the Combine that he has not stepped up and taken advantage of that. And that's what I saw last night. Like for me, you know, you and I were talking about it. It's sometimes as a quarterback, you try to overthink things. You try to be perfect, and you aim your throws. You try to guide your throws instead of just taking your drop and letting that sucker loose. You got to let it rip and not overthink it. And last night, Carson Strong looked like he was trying to be perfect and just, you know, pinpoint accurate. But sometimes when you overthink that, you know, he threw a couple slants that were right at the knees. He threw an in route right at the knees. It stinks for him, but he'll get another opportunity this pro day. And for a guy that's just a pocket-type passer and with the talk around his knee and how healthy can he be, I think last night wasn't his best performance.
Yeah, it was disappointing, especially for somebody who thinks he has a heck of a career ahead of him at the NFL level.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.